Well, that's not something I expected today. The Denver Broncos are going to be trading a 6th round pick for Zach Wilson in a 7th. So today, we are going to be committing to Zach Wilson as the Denver Broncos. And we are going to see if we can save his career and save a team that is ironically in a bad position because of trading for another quarterback with the last name Wilson. Either way, this is still a super interesting trade. So we are going to see if there is something to salvage with Zach Wilson. But this is a team with a lot of potential, a lot of young players here, and a lot of room to grow now that they got rid of Russell Wilson. So I'm excited to get into this. And for this special trade-related video, the first one I've done in a while, let's see if we can get to 3,000 likes on this video. And if we can, it'll let me know y'all want to see another Broncos rebuild. And I'm still expecting them to draft a quarterback, so whatever quarterback they'll draft, I'll probably do a rebuild of them with whatever quarterback they draft. So again, 3,000 likes for that. And be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. If you like rebuilds, that's literally all I do. And it'll make you an OG of the channel for when we inevitably hit 10 million subscribers, definitely. And last thing, let me see if there's a shout out for this video. I'll say shout out to Sent for the suggestion of this video. Comments spelled a little weird, but I know what you mean. Their link is in the description, and if you want to shout out, just let me know any fun rebuild ideas y'all have down below. And I read like 90% of comments, for better or for worse. But without further ado, let's get into this rebuild. And like I said, we are committing to Zach Wilson at least for a couple years, so this draft is going to be super interesting. But let's see what we want to do with this pick. So let me just show y'all who's available. We still have Malik Neighbors and Rome Odunze, and for some reason they're not showing, but Jaden Daniels and JJ McCarthy. Who got picked? There's something seriously wrong with this game. I know this isn't going to be the most realistic rebuild ever because, you know, we're committing to Zach Wilson, but I wouldn't feel good taking one of these two at number 12. They just shouldn't be here. Maybe Odunze, but that's even pushing it. An argument definitely could be made for Odunze to slip a little bit though, but would he really get past like the Giants? I guess he could if they take a QB. I don't necessarily think they will though. Am I really gonna talk myself into taking Rome Odunze at 12? I don't know. To be fair, I don't know what else we would do. I mean, we could go like Troy Fatanu, but that would definitely be more of a future pick. God, this is so stupid. We're gonna go Rome Odunze. He's not gonna be here in real life unless teams just really don't like him. This is gonna be the most unrealistic rebuild I've ever done. We're taking Rome Odunze. You know, I like Malik Neighbors more. There is no chance he's still here at 12, so we'll go with Rome Odunze. I really don't feel good about it. This first draft is always a balance of what's realistic and what I want to do. Is censored Rosengarten? Why? What does that even mean? But here in round 3, I think I'm gonna go with Christian Mahogany. I mean, it's either him or Cedric Van Pran or Mason McCormick. Is he 24? I don't think I've ever grabbed him in a rebuild. He'll probably go in about this range. Should I take him? Yeah, we'll grab a different player. This is gonna look like such a weird draft, but let's go with Mason McCormick. Hidden dev, probably not gonna start year 1, but should start eventually. I don't think I'm done taking O-line either. I really want to fix this O-line. God, I love when it puts random UDFA players, just placeholder players, not even real people, at the top of the board. Still listed as a projected UDFA, but he's at the top of the board for some reason. This game is something. Let's go with Renardo Green. Are we really gonna go with another 24-year-old? I do like him a lot, though. Now, let's go with Kyrie Jackson. I don't know if either or like any of these corners are still gonna be here. There are so many corners in like the same 2nd to 4th round range that could go anywhere that I just have no idea where they're gonna go. So let's just go with Kyrie Jackson out of Oregon. Only normal dev. I forgot I gave him normal dev. I maybe should up that, but I think he's a decent overall. But here's how we did in the draft. Obviously, Rome Odunze being our first pick, but y'all saw these picks. I also took Christian Boyd, Andrew Rame, you know, some okay picks down here. Again, I always feel the need to reiterate, my draft classes are lower overalls and I gave a lot of the players dev traits. Because on paper, this looks like shit compared to a regular draft class. I just feel the need to reiterate that. Like, literally every team's draft class looks bad. But definitely a really interesting, really unrealistic first draft. So let's get into year 1. But here's a look at the team heading into year 1. This is definitely a team. That is for sure. We're only a 78 overall, but there are some bright spots of this team, or at least places that we can grow, like our receiving core with Rome Odunze, Marvin Mims, both very young. We'll see what we can do with Zach Wilson. We'll see if we can save him. him. But I don't know if I've mentioned this yet, but if we cannot save Zach Wilson by the end of year 2, then we will draft a quarterback in that offseason. Because, I mean, at that point, you know, I think it'll be pretty safe to say it'll be a failure, at least on the Zach Wilson front. But if he's doing well, we'll definitely keep him. Also, Greg Dulcich got superstar dev. We'll definitely take that. I don't know why, but we'll take it. And then the defense is interesting. A lot of young players, a lot of, like, potential future studs, but really the only player that is at least an 80 overall is Pat Surtain. That's it. So we have some work to do on defense here, to say the least. Honestly, with this whole team, we have a ton of work to do. But let's get to the midseason point of year number 1, and hopefully we don't suck too bad. But we might. Okay, wow, that is like the weirdest way this could have started. We are 5-2 to start this out, but at 5-2, we're only 3rd in the division, and the Chargers are leading it at 6-1. Interesting. That's really all I know how to say here, or know what to say here. This is a certified EA moment. So I'm guessing Zach Wilson's doing pretty well. I'll build suspense and just wait to the end of the year to check how he's doing. But we, of course, have some re-signings to worry about, and there are some pretty decent ones. Javonte Williams, Quinn Miners, Baron Browning, Jaquan McMillan, Zach Wilson already. Also Garrett Bowles, DJ Jones, Malcolm. I don't know if Malcolm Roach should be up for a deal yet, but there are a lot here. So that could be why we're doing well. Everyone's playing for a contract, which I really have a theory that that's an actual thing in Madden. But Javonte Williams, I guess we'll have to offer 6 years, 51 mil to get him to take this, but he does. Did Quinn Miners already re-sign? Okay, no, so we will extend him. We'll go another 6-year deal is what we're gonna have to do. 6 years, 88 mil, sounds good. He takes it. Baron Browning will go 4 years, 28 or 26.8 mil. These are some long deals, but he takes it. Jaquan McMillan isn't interested, but he is very cheap. Another 4 to 6 year deal, 5 years, 27.5 mil for McMillan, and he doesn't take it. That makes sense. That's very cheap. Zach Wilson, we'll go full 4 years. Why not? 4 years, 20.4. And then Garrett Bowles is obviously good in real life, but okay, he's doing well so far. We'll go 2 years, 30. I could go longer, but just in case he does start playing poorly, I'll just go 2 years. And then everyone else we'll worry about at the end of the year. So we actually made it out of that pretty well. That was like almost everyone on the team, or most of our important players at least. So very long first re-signing period, but let's get to the end of the year. I'm expecting a choke, but I think we'll finish somewhere around like 9-8-ish, maybe a little better. Okay, well, definitely a good call. We finished 9-8, and we were really weird. We finished with a pretty bad offense and also a bad defense, but our points per game on defense, we were 9th. So we allowed a lot of yards, but we didn't allow a lot of points. Yet we also didn't have that good of a red zone D. We just got a lot of takeaways. Okay, I guess that makes sense. This was a really weird year. Also, the Chargers really choked. They finished, what, 2-8 after going 6-1? Ouch. But now for season stats, Zach Wilson did well. 3,500 yards, 22 touchdowns, 9 picks. That was a lot better than I expected. Nothing insane, but with how he's been playing, that's pretty insane. I think if he had to start in Denver, by the way, I think he would do a lot better than he did on the Jets. I'll just say that. I mean, no disrespect to the Jets, but they are the Jets. At least their offense. Their defense is obviously very good, but that offense is like maybe the worst in the league. At least it was close last year. But Javonte Williams, 1,100 yards, 10 touchdowns, we'll take it. 1,000 yards for Cortland Sutton. Hardly anything for Roma Dunze. I really wish he got more production as a rookie. Only 600 yards, 5 touchdowns, but Marvin Mims did well. Dulcich did all right. The blocking was pretty good. Quinn Miners joins the all-castration team. Unfortunate last name to be on the all-castration team, but I don't know, that's kind of surprising. He isn't really known for his pass blocking, more run blocking, but he's a decent pass blocker. He's pretty good at it. Drew Sanders led the team with 135 tackles. Hopefully a dev trait there. That would be huge. I know the Broncos are experimenting with him as a pass rusher, but I'll just keep him at middle linebacker. I know he was a pass rusher for what, Alabama? But he definitely has a better shot in this rebuild at linebacker. TFL 16 for DJ Jones, 14 for Zach Allen in sacks. Thankfully, we had 9 for Baron Browning. He did really well, but there wasn't much outside of him. DJ Jones and Alex Singleton with 5, 4.5 for Allen, only 2 for Nick Bonito. Yikes. I wonder if we can make Drew Sanders like a rotational pass rusher. That could be an interesting strategy, but we'll have to see what we do in the draft because I have some plans. But Pat Surtain, 4 picks, 3 for Sanders, 2 for Wallace and Jones. touchdowns, and then 1 for Singleton. But MVP goes to Joe Burrow. That's okay. That's an interesting MVP, but what's even more interesting is Bo Nix at number 3 on the Vikings. Okay. Jonathan Taylor also up there. Did he hit like 2,000 yards? We'll have to see. But he obviously wins Offensive Player of the Year. Defensive Player of the Year goes to Matt Milano. This was a different simulation. I'm glad to see it. I guess I'm used to using NFC teams, and that was probably Micah Parsons. Yeah. And CeeDee Lamb or Brandon Ayuk? Okay, Jalen Hurts. But Offensive Rookie of the Year goes to Marvin Harrison Jr. on the Chargers. Aaron Rodgers must have retired. The Jets got JJ McCarthy. This is a weird first year. Rome Odunze at number 4. Defensive Rookie of the Year goes to Jerzon Newton. Byron Murphy at 2, who I probably would have taken if he was still available. Again, I really don't know what to say other than this was a weird year. Actually, one more thing, or two. This is pretty important. I mean, he won't win it, so I don't know how important it is, but is Zach Wilson up there for best QB? He's at number 9. We'll take it. He was at least a top 20 performing QB this year, so we'll take it. And like I said, let's see what Jonathan Taylor did. Anthony Richardson was not very good, but yep, Jonathan Taylor, 2,000 yards, 6.6 per carry, 22 touchdowns. I'm a big Jonathan Taylor believer, but that's a little bit ridiculous, don't you think? Also, almost 300 yards receiving, 2 touchdowns. He had over 2,300 total yards and 24 touchdowns. That is something. And speaking of the Colts, that's who we're going to be taking on in the wild card. Now, we don't deserve to win this game. We'll probably get smoked. The Colts were very good this year. They had a top 5 defense and a top 10 offense purely because of their run game. Their pass game was really weak. But we have a first of many scenario. This is like the longest year 1 I've had in a long time. But there is a lot of weird stuff happening here. We will go play it cool. Y'all know me. But let's simulate this game against the Colts and we will see what happens. And yeah, we lose. That's fair. We lose to the other horse team in the NFL. They had the better overall team and a much better season. That's understandable. But let's really try to make this team good, which we very well could achieve this offseason. But in the Super Bowl, we have a Super Bowl rematch. This one definitely happens a lot. It's not as common as Chiefs-Cowboys, but Chiefs-Eagles. The Chiefs win 32-31. Oh, and we had some pretty good performers this season. Let's see if we got any dev traits. I would guess none on offense. No, we didn't get any on offense, but Rome Odunze does have superstar. That's cool. I was hoping for Zach Wilson, but he didn't do quite crazy enough. He did perform better than his overall, though, for sure. He was top 20, and he is rated 36, so maybe deserved a dev trait. I was just thinking about giving him star dev before the rebuild, but I didn't. I could, though. But on defense, damn, okay. We didn't get any, really. Not even Drew Sanders? I mean, he did develop a lot at least. He went up 5 overall, but that's tough. I don't even think we got a star dev unless I missed one. But for re-signings, I definitely want Jaquan McMillan back if he wants to come back. We'll offer him very player-friendly again. We'll up it a little bit. 4 years, 30. He does take it. Okay, cool. And then honestly, everyone else, I know Broncos fans probably like some of these players, but I do need to extend Malcolm Roach because he still should be under contract. Oh, I forgot what this game does. Even if I extend him here, it doesn't do anything. I'm going to have to actually re-sign him, which he probably won't take. So I don't know if I can bring him back. Whatever. Well, I'll maybe get him back in free agency. DJ Jones is interested, but he's 30. Honestly, I'm kind of good on letting everyone else go and just worry about filling our own depth in. So let's get into free agency and let's really work to make this team great, or at least as good as we possibly can. But here in free agency, it's a lot of older players, honestly. There are some good players, but it is mostly just older players. But I'm still gonna go for some, so let's see what I want to do. But in free agency, we're really just gonna target defense. Our offense wasn't great either, but our defense was pretty bad, at least for yardage totals. So we'll go for Shaq Thompson, Michael Pierce, and Xavier Woods. All 3 players are at least 30 at this point. So we're definitely adding some veteran presence to this defense, which is a good thing, I guess, at least in real life. But these would all be pretty decent upgrades. So let's see if they want to sign. Oh, okay, we get Shaq Thompson. We don't get either of the other 2, though. How hard would it be to get Grover Stewart instead? The Bengals are also interested in him. I mean, if Michael Pierce didn't accept that offer, apparently he just isn't interested in us. Like, from experience, if he was gonna sign, he would have signed there. So let's just offer for, oh, that's pretty expensive. 2 years, 42 for Grover Stewart. Maybe we should just wait to the draft for defensive tackle. We'll still try to get Michael Pierce, but it's pretty unlikely that he signs. Let's see if either of these 2 want to sign now. Oh, okay, we do get Michael Pierce. That's really surprising. I guess I did player friendly instead of just neutral, so we'll take it. But Xavier Woods still hasn't signed. Why does nobody want to sign week 1 or even 2 in his case? Let's see if he does now, and he does. Okay, cool. So we get all 3 with a little bit of a scare, but we'll take it. But here in the draft, we pick all the way back at number 20 because, of course, we made the playoffs. So let's see what we want to do here. It definitely does look like a good class for our positions of need, thankfully. I guess the question is, though, how many of them will still be available? So we still have Dwayne Belton, who is at least a first to second round talent, and he might have to be the pick because there were some good corners available. It looks like there are still good ones, but there were some insane ones that I couldn't have passed up on. Honestly, though, Terrence Ryan's looks really good. Not as good as the others did, but still really good. Oh, and of course, we'll do our obligatory safety check. There's some good looking ones. Nobody too insane, though. And our interior O-line check. Again, nobody too crazy. So this is technically going to be a little bit of a reach, but our pass rush was pretty horrible. So we're going to go with Dwayne Belton. Honestly, on paper, he really doesn't look good. Plus, he's already 23, which is a little hard to work with. Plus, for being a speed rusher, he only ran a 4.75. This screams normal dev. Maybe not, though. But really, I would not touch him here. Pause. I wouldn't touch him unless I knew he was for sure a first to second round talent. That makes me think this is a weak draft class, even though I said it was strong. We'll still take him, though. Yep, normal dev. Well, we're gonna have to hope he plays well and wins Defensive Rookie of the Year. Did I just see a dude named Jizzario? Jizzario? I'm gonna have to check back. That would be the stupidest name I've ever seen. But here to try to make up for that first pick, I think we'll go with Terrence Ryan's. There are definitely some other really good looking corners, though. Especially Travis Franklin, but he's a little slower. Khalil Rattler looks pretty damn good too, though. And Emmett Newhouse. He's faster, but Ryan's is younger. I still think we're gonna go with Terrence Ryan's. Out of Missouri. Let's take him. God, dude. Another normal dev, of course. It's gonna be one of those rebuilds again. But honestly, with our last pick, I'm not sure what to do. With how the last 2 picks went, it might be best to hand the picks off to the CPU. Luke Burnett looks interesting, but I don't know if interesting means good. I can't really tell. I think he's a horrible run defender. He could also have all B's for like pursuit and block shed, though. I don't know. I'm just gonna simulate this out. This is the rare time where I only take 2 picks. So yeah, let's sim it out and we'll see what the CPU can come up with. Okay, well, we definitely got some decent overall players. Belton's only a 74, but I mean, that's what I expected. I was just hoping for a dev trait. I mean, we knew what his talent was. We knew he wasn't gonna be a crazy good overall, but just no dev trait is unlucky. At least I predicted it. Terrence Ryan's is a really good overall at a 78, just also no dev trait. And then the CPU took Dustin Sherman. He's fine, 73 overall. I don't know if he's ever gonna, play for us, but he very well could. But the CPU really loved to take linemen and not very good ones other than Sherman. Darren Carr is only a 67, and Barry Jordan is only a 63 at tackle. But this Mitch Kellum guy's decent, 70 overall. Of course, no. Did we get a single dev trait? Oh yeah, we had Sherman. But Carr, normal, and I'm gonna assume man. Okay, no, man has star. Or well, I guess it could be better, but it's star. And Jordan had normal, so not the best draft ever, but I did what I could. Let's get into year 2. Oh yeah, wait, what was the dude's name? I gotta see. Oh, it's Jazzario. Okay. Well, I mean, that's still kind of crazy, but I thought his name started with Jizz. Would have been unlucky. Jazzario, that's a little more normal. Someone, I feel like an NFL player's had that name before. I don't know. But here's a look at the team heading into year 2. Only an 80 overall, but we're getting better slowly. And as the years go on, the team gets better, free agent classes get better, and hopefully we have, a better option in the first round next year. We're really hoping for a defensive rookie of the year from either Ryans or Belton. I don't know how likely that is, but maybe Belton, we'll see. This offense is mostly just the same as last year. It is very good to know that Zach Wilson can do well, though, and he does have an upgrade that's fun. It said +3 awareness. He definitely needs that. No offense, but let's again get to the midseason point, and we will see how we do. I don't think we'll do as well as we did last year, but hopefully decently well, and that could be a good thing if we do poorly to get a good draft pick, because we might need it. Okay, well, we are 3-4. Definitely a little worse than last year. Our offense is really struggling this year, especially our pass game, which, isn't a good sign. We only have 7 passing touchdowns so far. At least only 6 giveaways. We're gonna hope those are all fumbles and not Zach Wilson, but more than likely those are 6 picks. But you know what? I expected it at least. next. We do have some re-signings to worry about. Pat Surtain will go 5 years, 118 mil. He takes it. Greg Dulcich does have the superstar dev. Isn't really developing that quick, but he also isn't that expensive. 4 years, 33. He takes it. Cortland Sutton. I want him back. He just isn't interested at all. Jaleel McLaughlin will re-sign. He's really cheap. We'll go 3 years, 14 mil. He takes it. Zach Allen will go 2 years, 17 mil. Again, not that expensive. Nick Bonito was horrible last year. How's he doing this year? I mean, at least he had TFLs last year, but I want sacks. He just isn't really playing this year. We'll probably just let him go. And then there's some depth players I signed and just other depth in general. Brandon Jones is another player that I think should still be under contract. I love that you still can't make custom contracts outside of franchise, but we actually have a breakout DB scenario. I wonder if that would ironically be Brandon Jones. Probably not. It is Terrence Ryans, the rookie. So hold the Texans to less than 200 passing yards or get Terrence Ryans 1 pick, force fumble, TFL, or a sack. I don't know how doable that is. How's the Texans pass game been this year? Oh my God, it's literally, wait, what? I'm confused. The Texans have 199 pass yards per game, right? Which is 31st. We have 177 and that's 27. What? Let me close the franchise. It lies down there sometimes, so we'll see if that fixes it. No. Does it not, is the ranking not based off of yards per game, but actually total yards? I would bet you anything that's what it is. If that's what it is, that's so stupid. Why even have the yards per game at that point? Or even have the ranking next to it? That's so weird. Why? Whatever. Let's see if we can hit the breakout. Okay, and we lose to the Texans. Big shocker. And, oh, we do hit it. Okay, cool. Terrence Ryans does get star dev. I thought, you know, the only real way he could get it was from winning Defensive Rookie of the Year. We're lucky he just happened to have a breakout at the midseason, and 20,000 XP. That's huge. Okay, and yeah, we finished 6-11. Big shocker there. I honestly kind of wish it was our defense that did poorly, because I don't want to have to move on from Zach Wilson, but we'll give him 1 more year. He did well year 1, but in year 2, only 2,900 yards, 16 touchdowns, 10 picks. How we feeling about the Chiefs offense? Because at least this year, this Broncos one ain't working. I know it would be sinful to use the Chiefs offense for the Broncos, but don't blame me, blame Madden, all right? Don't blame me for the game being so playbook oriented over like anything else. But Javonte Williams was very good, 1,260 yards, 6 touchdowns. Rome Odunze was our leading receiver with less than 900 yards. That's always great. And with how little we passed, good Lord, still 14 sacks allowed from Garrett Bowles, 9 from Ben Powers, 7 from McGlinchey, 5 for Miners. Really, our only good lineman was Mason McCormick, our lowest overall, of course. What the Okay, 121 tackles for Shaq Thompson, TFLs 17 for Pierce, 14 for Allen, 12 for Browning and Belton, but sacks 9.5 for Shaq Thompson? Did I accidentally start him at edge? Why is he the one we're sending on blitzes instead of, no, he's not at edge, instead of Drew Sanders? He should be our blitzer. This was a very Madden season, but 8.5 sacks for Zach Allen, only 4.5 for Browning after having 9 last year, only 3 for Belton. That's about what I expected, to be fair. And then picks 2 for Browning. I know he used to play off ball, but can we put players at the right positions, please? Like, what's happening? Why is Baron Browning out picking Shaq Thompson by a lot and Shaq Thompson out sacking Baron Browning by a lot? What's happening? But 2 picks for Terrence Ryans as a rookie. That's cool. 1 for a few players. This was a season, that's for sure. MVP goes to Lamar Jackson. Offensive Player of the Year goes to Jonathan Taylor again. Defensive Player of the Year goes to Zadarius Smith on the Titans. Someone I was thinking about signing, but I highly doubt he would have had that production here. Offensive Rookie of the Year goes to Tony Oliver for the Patriots. And Defensive Rookie of the Year goes to Isaiah Albury for the Ravens. Belton at 5, Ryans at 7. Again, I don't know what else to say other than that was certainly a season of football. Let's get into the offseason. But in the Super Bowl, I feel like I've seen this one a few times lately. The Packers take down the Colts 28-21. The Colts I've really seen in a ton of Super Bowls lately. Jonathan Taylor just really carries them. I don't know why they've been showing up so much lately. Like, they didn't really add anyone this offseason in real life. It's interesting. They're mostly just the same team they have been. But for re-signings, Cortland Sutton unsurprisingly still isn't interested. I mean, I'll offer him, I don't want to give him a 5-year deal at 30 years old. I would go like 2. I know he's not going to take take this, though. That's the problem. It's either we give him a 5-year deal when I don't want to, and he still might not take it, or we give him a 2-year deal that he won't accept. You know what? Maybe he will. Let's up the money. But honestly, it kind of sounds like he might be gone soon from the Broncos, and he is 30. He's really not going to develop much more here. So we're just going to let him go and hopefully upgrade at receiver through free agency. Everyone else, though, I'm pretty good. We'll re-sign Will Lutz because he's at least interested. Why do kickers always reject, even if they're interested? You're getting tagged, buddy. But in free agency, there are some decent players, but once again, they're all 30 plus. There is Geno Stone, but we don't really need a safety. Something I'm not seeing is receiver. The best one is Courtland Sutton. That's tough. How we feeling about something like this? 1 year, 16 mil. We might have to do more than that. 1 year, 17? I'm just trying to get into the green, but it's not working. You know what? We'll try 1 year, 19 mil, but we're also going to go for Joel Bitonio. I mean, our O-line was a problem last year. Usually it's really dependent on the quarterback, on how good or bad the blocking is, but it was weird. It was really good year one and then really bad last year, and the quarterback didn't change. So, I mean, he changed in performance, but it was still the same player. So we'll try to add Joel Bitonio. I'm not super confident in him signing, but we'll see. And then Courtland Sutton, kind of the same deal. But let's see if either of them want to sign. They both sign, and we don't. Okay, no, it just took a minute to load. We get Joel Bitonio. We do not get Courtland Sutton. He goes to the Falcons, but it might be fine for Rome Odunze to be our #1 receiver, especially with superstar Dev at only, what, 23? Yeah, 23 years old. I could trade for a receiver, and people always ask, why don't you trade in rebuilds? It's because trading isn't that good in this game. You have to overpay for even like good players so much that it ends up being not worth it. Like even with very high player interest, even getting someone like Devontae Smith would cost like 2 first-round picks at least. Like let's look at DJ Moore. I mean, this is going to be a high pick, so this might get accepted, but you know, keyword might. I want to see how far off this trade would be for Justin Jefferson. Not far, never mind. Okay, well maybe I've been proven wrong here. That is a lot closer than I expected. Maybe we might have to trade for a receiver here then. But just speaking from experience, like most of the time, even having like a mid to late first round pick, trading for Jalen Waddle, for example, when he's a lower overall, like an 89 or something, if I was offering like a mid to late first round pick, it would be what, like a third of the way through? Definitely less than half. I'm sure an early first will get accepted, but I don't really want to give that much up. I don't know. We definitely need our draft picks right now. I don't know if I'm willing to give up the 6th pick. We could, though. I don't know. This is tough. I guess we could. How goofy do we want to get? We are giving up the 6th pick in a 3rd next year for Justin Jefferson. Is this realistic? No. At least not right now, but, you know, we can make the excuse that he just doesn't want to be a Viking anymore. That's always a thing that happens. So, we fixed our receiver problem. It was expensive, but I would say it was worth it. We're really trying to make Zach Wilson do well. If he's bad after this year, then we're getting rid of him immediately. But now, no first-round pick this year, so let's see if we can somehow fix this defense, which honestly on paper doesn't look too bad, but well, I guess it didn't do bad. It's been our offense, huh? Maybe we'll be good next year. We'll see. I feel like out of it today. I need to lock in. There was a huge warehouse fire like right next to me the other day. I feel like I breathed in too much smoke or something. I feel like I got brain damage. I need to lock in. But here in the draft, the Cardinals have the #1 pick. We don't pick until the 2nd round, of course. And let's see what we want to do with this pick. It looks like there's a decent pass rusher in Jose Newhouse, but as a power rusher with only 4.83 speed, he's probably going to drop 3 overall, having to move to outside linebacker. We could pull a Zach Allen with him and bulk him up and just make him play D-line, but I want a pass rusher. I want an outside linebacker. I genuinely don't know if I've ever seen a good pass rushing outside linebacker past the 1st round, or at least like early 2nd. Like ever. Not ever, but I mean, since they made this new drafting style. Do we just go with Jose Newhouse, who's going to be like a 71 overall outside linebacker? Maybe. Is that really the best use of our resources, though? Probably not. Denario Sherwood at center looks pretty good. He's also really fast. Only solid strength, though, with 33 reps at the combine. Whatever. I don't think I'm going to go center, though. That would mean replacing Mason McCormick, and he was our best lineman last year. I don't know what else to do. Let's go with Jose Newhouse. He's going to be a 71 overall outside linebacker. Let's take him. Hidden dev, that's cool. We'll probably thin him down a little bit, maybe make him a little faster and a little weaker. We'll see what we want to do, because 272 is a little bit... I don't know. It's a little big, but I guess it's not too big. And let's see, there's still some good-looking safeties. They're hardly scouted, but what we can see looks pretty good. Ooh, I kind of like Javon Russell. Do I? Maybe I don't. He's a run support safety, which in that case, I would hope he has at least A pursuit, and he can't. It's only B to D. And that also means his man is probably only a C, and his zone is probably a C or a D, so I don't think I'm gonna take him. There are some good-looking safeties. David Reynolds, good speed, good strength, A awareness and man. Not the best pursuit, though. That's the only thing. And Eric Nash is definitely a little slow, 4.63, but he does have A awareness, B tackle, B zone. I don't know. I'm gonna go with David Reynolds just because he looks like a good player. Not perfect, but decent. This game hates me. I say that in every rebuild, but normal dev. Honestly, we don't really have too many glaring needs anymore on the team. We definitely have things we want to upgrade. It'll just be tough to upgrade them through the draft. It's gonna have to be a free agency thing. But we do kind of need a fourth receiver, especially in what should be a much more pass-heavy offense. I'm gonna go with Jeremiah Gordon out of Stanford. He's only 5'8", but great change direction and speed. A spec catch. I'm hoping he is A deep route. I don't love the medium route, though. I never like seeing F ratings. He also only has D catching. Maybe he's not that good. Let's go with Darrell Weathers. He looks okay. Not great, but it'll have to do. Normal dev, I mean, that's the least shocking thing I've ever seen. But let's see how we did. I don't know how much faith I have in this draft. I mean, that'll happen when you don't have a first-round pick, but we'll see. But here's how we did in the draft. It was interesting. It was actually better than I expected. Jose Newhouse is a 75. I thought he would be a 74, which, you know, that's barely better, but it's at least better. He is actually faster than I expected. He does have 79 speed. I mean, I don't really know what I expected, to be fair. He ran like a 4.8, which that's about right. And he only goes down 2 overall. Okay, that's surprising. I thought he would go down 3, so we'll take that. And David Reynolds is good, just, of course, no dev trait, but he is a 76. Like, that's really good value. Let me see. We picked him in the 3rd round, and a 76 is, I guess, tied for 15th. That's pretty damn good. So, I mean, the draft class doesn't look crazy on paper, but with, you know, context, it's not bad at all. And then Weathers is 72. I thought he would only be a 70. The CPU picked a decent tight end and a decent receiver. This was a pretty good draft class, and especially imagine Justin Jefferson at the top of this. Like, this was a pretty good offseason. But here's a look at the team heading into what? Year 3? We're looking pretty decent. I like our offense. We have an 85 overall offense. Really, the thing that drags our overall down to is Zach Wilson only being a 75, I guess a 76 with morale, but, you know, he's definitely not helping the overall. And we'll see how Joel Bitonio does, and obviously Justin Jefferson. I don't know why I said Justin with an E instead of a U, but whatever. We'll see how he does. Oh yeah, and we'll see how this new offense does. I like to run West Coast spread with the Chiefs offense. I feel like that's the scheme that works best, at least for me. I don't know. And then our defense is only an 81 overall, but I feel like it's not bad. Also dragged down by players like Newhouse, who's only a 73, Jones, who's only a 75, but I definitely don't think it looks too bad. Also, Brandon Jones got superstar dev. That's cool. Of course, doesn't really say why, but we'll take it. Oh yeah, and of course, Ryan's got star dev last year, which is very, very nice. Still only 23 or 22 years old at an 83 overall. I don't love the number 44, but we'll keep it. But let's get to the midseason point of year 3, and I have no idea how we're gonna do this year. We could massively underperform, or we could do great. We'll just have to see. I think our offense will be good. I think our defense will be horrible. That's my guess. Nah, but our offense is a better overall than our defense. I feel like both will be mid. That's my guess. Or like below average, and we'll be 3-4 or 2-5. There's my prediction. Okay, well, we're a little better than I expected. We are 4-2. We'll take it. We're also up to an 85 overall. Up 2 overall in just 8 weeks, so that's great. You love to see that. And actually, my prediction before the year was kind of right. Just the record was wrong. Our offense is below average, and our defense is, like, average at 16. And yes, our defense is doing better than our offense that's 4 overall better. Oh, our offense is really bad. Why? I just wish overall mattered in this game, man. That's all I'm saying. We have some re-signings, though. Ooh. Okay, Drew Sanders, Brandon Jones, Marvin Mims, Shaq Thompson, Ben Powers. Okay, it's not easy here. Michael Pierce. Xavier Woods will probably let go. Garrett Bowles. That's a lot of players. God, contracts are way too long in this game. We're gonna have to give Drew Sanders a very player-friendly offer because he's not interested, and he's probably not gonna like it if we drop the years, so it's gonna have to be 7 years, 80 mil. I mean, maybe we could drop it a little bit, but still 5 years is super long for just barely over 10 mil per year. We'll see if he takes this. He does. does. Okay, cool. Brandon Jones, he's already 28. He did get the superstar dev, but also not interested. Marvin Mims will re-sign. We'll go 3 years, 19.2, and he takes it. It's going to be satisfying to restructure all these deals when we actually need to, because I don't think I've restructured any of them. But Shaq Thompson will wait until he regresses after the year. He should be a little cheaper. Ben Powers, how's he doing? Because I know he had that one really bad year, which was last year. But this year he's doing well. I just think he's only doing well because it's a contract year. Michael Pierce is going to regress too. Xavier Woods we don't really need. Garrett Bowles, he's probably doing better now because I gave him a disciplined penalty. And for some reason, that really seems to affect offensive line blocking performance. Like, not just getting penalties, just straight up their blocking. Although he's still doing horribly, so maybe not. Yeah, I'm good. 7 sacks through 6 games isn't exactly ideal. Okay, we're definitely gonna be letting a few players go. But let's get to the end of the year. This could be another really big choke job, or we could finish pretty well. We'll really just have to see. I don't know. This has been a really weird rebuild. Okay, well, actually, here we are at the end of year 3, and if you've seen one of these videos before, y'all know why we're here. If you haven't already, be sure to leave a like on the video. You know, if you've made it this far, I think you're enjoying it, maybe, unless you're just hate watching. So be sure to leave a like. Again, 3,000 likes and I'll do another Broncos rebuild. I think that's what I promised. Once they draft a QB, which I'm assuming they will, unless they really believe in Zach Wilson. And be sure to subscribe, because if you like this video so far, most of my videos are like this, so maybe you don't even realize you're not subscribed. I have people tell me that a lot, like a concerning amount. So be sure to check if you are. We're growing really quick lately still, which is insane because it's the off season, so I appreciate that a lot. And again, let me know any fun rebuild ideas y'all have down below for a shout out like the one I gave earlier in this video. Or if you just want to let me know what you want to see. But anyways, in year number 3, we finished 10-7 and we made the playoffs somehow. Our offense ended up getting a lot better, finished as a top 10 offense, and our defense stayed good. Our run D and rushing offense were both terrible. Oh, we had 18 giveaways on offense. That's not great. But hey, at least we made the playoffs. But Zach Wilson, that's the power of the Chiefs offense, and I guess adding Justin Jefferson. 4,200 yards, 39 touchdowns, 15 picks. You know, the picks and completion percentage aren't great, but I think we're taking that with 39 touchdowns and 4,200 yards. I'm not going to complain about it. I do see he took a decent amount of sacks. I guess it could have been worse, but still a decent amount. Ooh, Javonte Williams was really good. Almost 1,200 yards on only 250 carries, 4.8 per carry, 13 touchdowns. We'll take that. We had 2 1,000-yard receivers, Justin Jefferson with 1,321 touchdowns, and 1,000 yards for Greg Dulcich, 7 touchdowns. Mims was decent. Adunze really hasn't been getting many catches. I wish he would. I just don't know how to play him. Like, he was our number 1 receiver last year. What did I do different? I mean, I know this is a different offensive playbook now, but Justin Jefferson is listed as the number 1 slot because I know that usually gets the most production. Same with the number 1 receiver. And then usually it just goes in order from number 2 to number 3, but it looks like the number 3 receiver is getting more catches here. Whatever. I don't know. But for blocking, our tackles were both horrible. Mason McCormick wasn't great, but the guards were good. We had a lot of tackles, 128 for Thompson, 124 for Sanders. TFLs 14 for Allen, 13 for Browning and Pierce. And sacks, 12.5 for Baron Browning. He's been really good other than last year. Honestly, in the fake first simulation year I did too, he had 12.5 sacks. Most of the time he's horrible when I use him, but here he's becoming really good, what he probably could become in real life. But Zach Allen, 6 sacks, 5 for Newhouse. I wish he had more TFLs, but that's not bad. And picks, 4 for Sanders, 3 for Ryans, 2 for Surtain, and then 1 for a couple players. But MVP goes to Dak Prescott. There it is. Mahomes at 2. Wow, that is the top 5. Lamar, Hurts, and Burrow. We just need Josh Allen up there too. I guess he is up there, but not like 6 or anything. But Drake May at number 6 for the Buccaneers. Jonathan Taylor at number 7 this year. We're going to have to see what he did. He wins Offensive Player of the Year. Justin Jefferson at 2. God damn it, dude. Did I see another Bronco? Yeah, Javonte Williams up there. Defensive Player of the Year goes to, of course, division rival Max Crosby. Sanders at 6. Browning at 7. Offensive Rookie of the Year goes to Blake Altman for the Steelers. And Defensive Rookie of the Year goes to Mateo Reyes for the Browns. We, of course, get cucked. It has to happen at least once per rebuild. There it is. Newhouse at 2. But I want to see, was Zach Wilson up there for best QB? He was at number 6. I was kind of thinking he could be a little higher, but I guess the completion percentage and the picks weren't great. But I mean, 39 touchdown passes. I guess most of these guys probably have 48 because that's realistic. But I want to see, what did Jonathan Taylor do this year? The Colts signed Tua. That's interesting. Okay, Jonathan Taylor, less yards and yards per carry this year. I'm surprised he was higher for MVP. I guess just less other good performers. 1,800 yards, 5.8 per carry, 23 touchdowns. Receiving yards? Oh, he did have 450 receiving yards and 5 touchdowns. He is becoming like the best running back of all time here. He had 2,000 yards on the dot last year too. God damn. But anyways, back to the Broncos. We have a playoff rivals scenario here for the Chiefs. I don't expect to beat the Chiefs, believe it or not, but we'll see what happens. We'll go chess match, as I always pick. And we have some upgrades. Nothing important, just Elijah Moore, our 4th receiver. But nothing else for us to do here, really. Let's just simulate this game against the Chiefs, and let's see what happens. We lose 23-20, but that's fine. They had the better roster. They were at home. That's definitely fair. Did we almost miss the playoffs? We went 10-7, but we're 3rd in the division. I guess it's too late to check now what the other team's records were, but, well, not really. Ooh, it was definitely close. Or no, the Jets made it at 9-8. Okay. Still scary to be 3rd in the division and still make the playoffs, because I've definitely missed the playoffs a lot of the time going 10-7. But now in the offseason, I guess I'll mention the Super Bowl. The Steelers beat the 49ers 21-17. That's an interesting one. I'm sure those fan bases would be fun going at each other. But let's see which players we want to re-sign. And let's see if we had any retirements. I doubt it, but I am worried about Joel Bitonio. Let me see. We're still the same overall, so Garrett Bowles retired. Thank God. Get out of here. Greg Dulcich went up to X Factor. That's cool. I think we're definitely going to cut Mike McGlinchey because he was terrible. I mean, he's obviously not much of a pass blocker in real life. Definitely more of a run blocker. So I was kind of surprised when the Broncos signed him. I thought they would want to build a ton of pass protectors in front of Russ, like I guess Ben Powers was. But yeah, that worked out about as well as I thought it would. Michael Pierce retired. And then I think that's it. Baron Browning went up to superstar. That's cool. But we did have a couple retirements this year. But for the rest of the players we have to re-sign, we'll pick up the 5th year for Roma Dunze. Will we? He hasn't been that good. I'm not gonna pick it up. Brandon Jones, how's he been playing? I think he's been decent. He had what, like 1 pick last year, but he had 0 the year before. Even his pass deflections aren't that high. I'm good. Shaq Thompson, we could re-sign, but we'll check if there's a better linebacker in free agency. Ben Powers is just a backup now. Although I guess we could put Joel Bitonio at tackle and start Ben Powers. But no, he was so bad the last time he started, I just don't want him. We'll re-sign Will Lutz, I guess. He does actually re-sign this time, and Michael Dixon. But let's get into free agency with a good amount of money to work with. And let's see what we want to do. Ooh, there are a few pretty good players. All right, this is going to be one of the craziest free agent classes I've ever gone for. It's a big one. Get ready. We are going to be going for Kyle Hamilton, Ryan Ramczyk, Ronnie Stanley, Daron Payne, Shaq Thompson, and Leonard Williams. This is going to be literally all of our money, except for, I guess, $400K. I want to be good this year. So we're going to get our tackles, which was our big problem last year, on offense at least, and we're going to add a lot of defensive players. Getting all these players, it makes me wonder what position we're going to draft, because I don't know what our needs are going to be after that, but I guess I'd rather not know what to draft because we don't have any needs than have to draft for needs, I guess. I don't know. It's definitely a good thing to have a better roster, believe it or not. So let's see if we can sign all these players. I bet someone will reject and sign somewhere else, but we get Kyle Hamilton, Ryan Ramczyk, Ronnie Stanley, and Leonard Williams. Nobody rejected us. And then Daron Payne and Shaq Thompson, do they want to sign now? Okay, Daron Payne does. Shaq Thompson doesn't really want to sign. That's not the end of the world. We could just draft a linebacker, actually. Looks like he's going to go back to the Panthers. Yeah. Ooh, Tyreek Hill signs with the Steelers, who just won the Super Bowl. That's terrifying. I can almost guarantee they won't be back because adding good players is not exactly a good thing in this game for whatever reason. But we are looking very good now, up to an 87. Definitely an old team, but still a good team. But let's get to the draft, and we will see what we want to do. I'm thinking either safety, linebacker, edge, again, or maybe center. We'll see. But here in the draft, we pick at number 22. The Cardinals have the number 1 pick here. But what do we want to do with this pick? Really, at our positions of need, I didn't see anyone amazing. Ooh, okay, Josh Rich is still available. I never checked his speed. What's his speed? I think Josh Josh Rich might have to be the pick. I did not think he would still be available. A awareness, A man, A play rec, A pursuit, A hit power, A tackle, great speed, elite acceleration, elite change of direction. I think we're taking him. That might be a decent pick if we take him. Believe it or not, I feel like I've said believe it or not about 14 million times in this rebuild, but fuck it, we ball. Let's take him. Josh Rich, welcome to the team. If he had normal dev, I was gonna close the game and go lay down for a minute. But what else do we even need? There aren't really any good pass rushers left. There never usually are after the first round in this game. I guess we could go linebacker, but none of them are supposed to go for a while. Should we take a chance on Jamie Rowland? What's his speed? Another speed check here. Great speed. I mean, is he really gonna be a better overall than the guys we have? Probably not. I don't really see how he could be. But I mean, if we don't take him, what else are we gonna do? We could go Sam Howard, who has 40 bench reps, 41 at his pro day, but only D pass block power, C run block power. Thanks, Madden. That's realistic. That's cool. I might go with Glenn Albertson. I can't tell for sure if he's amazing, but elite strength and change of direction. Everything that's fully scouted is at least a B. He at worst has C run block finesse and D pass block finesse, which isn't horrible. It's not good, but it's not like it's an F. We'll take him. Another hidden dev, 92 strength. This could be a pretty good draft. I feel like every time I've said that lately, it isn't, but I'm feeling those first two picks. We don't have a third round pick. Shit. That's really bad, actually. I was gonna take a linebacker with that pick. There still might be one available in the end of the fourth. We'll see. I don't feel like trading up, so we'll just see who's here. Well, there goes a linebacker right before us. I'm sure that guy was great. Oh, there's still some good looking ones. Not great, but good enough. Okay, last pick here. I'm between Brody June and Eddie Craig. Brody June's faster and has better pursuit, but a lot worse block shedding, but pursuit and speed are pretty important. Plus, he's a year younger. Yeah, we'll go with Brody June. Normal dev, whatever. Okay, what? Josh Rich was an amazing first pick. He's an 83 overall at safety. 92 speed, 81 man, 92 hit power, 94 excel, 79 play rec, and 78 awareness as a rookie. He's insane. His eyes are really dark. Like, the shadowing is weird looking. That's kind of creepy. I don't know, at least to me. I guess I have the vibrance cranked on my recording, so it probably won't look as weird, but to me, it looks really weird. But Glenn Albertson is really disappointing. He's only a 73. He's just not that good. My fault, I guess. What was scouted looked really good. It's just he wasn't scouted. He does have 89 impact block and 80 lead block, which usually, with those two stats that good, it usually means a really good overall O-lineman, but this guy's not great. And then Brody June's only a 72. He's also a little disappointing. What was the other linebacker rated? How about the one right before us? This is gonna make me cry. He was a 74, probably hidden dev. No normal. Okay, well, he's better, but not too much better. How about the one I didn't take? I'm really just setting myself up to be depressed here for some reason. He's a 73, so he was better, and he has hidden dev. Kill me. But here's a look at the team heading into year 4. We are looking good at an 87. I am just a little worried about a disappointing year, but we'll have to see what happens. But I mean, our O-line is very, very good on paper. This whole offense is just really good on paper. I mean, there isn't really even much to say about it anymore. You see it, it's good. Our defense is also very good now. Still worried about our pass rush, other than Baron Browning, which also you never know. Pass rushers are one of those groups especially that just really underperform at times in Madden. But we'll see what happens. But especially our secondary. Our secondary is insane. Now with the addition of Josh Rich too, who developed up to an 84 now. Hopefully a really good dev trait, we'll see. But yeah, I'm really liking this team. Gonna be interesting to see how it does. So let's get to the midseason point, and hopefully we're doing at least okay. All right, well, we are 3-4 at the midseason. Despite being an 88 overall, which, by the way, the Chiefs are only an 87 and are 7-0, so that's great. Love that. Our offense is below average once again, and our defense is pretty bad, despite massive upgrades to it when it was good last year. That's great. Almost like I predicted that. Well, I don't know if I straight out went and said our defense was upgraded, so it's gonna be worse, but I'm pretty sure I might have said that. I don't know. Something similar. All right, let's see who we have to re-sign. No, let's see. Hold on. I'm gonna check. We're gonna bench or cut some some players here. Who's performing badly? Zach Wilson isn't doing great. That's a lot of picks. How about blocking? Ronnie what the fuck? Oh, this is almost a descending order of overall. Our highest overall O-linemen are performing the worst, and our best is Mason McCormick at only a 7? This game needs a rework, please. And Baron Browning got superstar dev and went from 12.5 sacks to being on pace for like 2.5. That's great. I don't even know what to do. Like, should I bench? I'm gonna bench someone. Should I try Albertson at left tackle? He's only a 73 overall, though. I would bench Ramczyk too, but we don't. I guess we could maybe try Dustin Sherman there. Let's do that. This could backfire, but also they're doing terribly, so I don't know. And I would bench Baron Browning, but he did well last year, and we don't really have anyone to replace him. Didn't I literally call that before the year? Pass rushers and O-linemen are like the two positions in this game where they can be literally like a 99 overall across the board. There's a chance they allow or get like 2 sacks. Or if they're a 99 overall tackle, there's a chance they allow 20 or 15 or something. Like, overall is irrelevant. It's just luck. But we'll see who we have to re-sign here. Roma Dunze, maybe. Mason McCormick, I definitely want back, but he shouldn't be performing as our best O-lineman when he's the lowest overall by like 8. This game is gonna give me an aneurysm, dude. I know I complain a lot, but you can't say it's unfair. This game is so stupid. Joel Bitonio, hell no. Well, how'd he do last year, actually? Because he's on pace to allow like 10 sacks this year at left guard, which is ridiculous. But last year he only allowed 3, so I don't know. Roma Dunze will offer, well, we'll just wait till the end of the year. We need to change something, though. I'm almost wondering if benching those tackles was a mistake, because a lot of the time that works, but it works to bench the players that are performing poorly, even if you're subbing in a player that's a much lower overall. But I don't know. I don't feel good about it. Nah, fuck it. They're playing bad. They deserve to get benched. Let's get to the end of the year. Probably no playoffs this year, but next year we'll really try to make them. Okay, yeah, we finished 7-10. This is the first time I feel like demoralized in a rebuild. Most of the time it's as a joke, but this one I'm just like, what else can we even upgrade, dude? Like, I don't know what to do to this team. We're 7-10. We were good last year. Let's just hope it was a down year. Let's just hope for that. Zach Wilson was really good, 4,300 yards, 33 touchdowns, only 12 picks. Javonte Williams was good. Justin Jefferson was very good. Marvin Mims was... See, I didn't change anything here. Why did Mims get more yards this year? Well, I guess... Wait, okay, Mims... What? Okay, no, Adunze did get more catches, just less yards per catch. But Greg Dulcich... Did I change the offensive playbook? Why was he 4th in yards? Tight ends are usually like the #1 receiver in the Chiefs playbooks. I don't know what happened here. I'm just gonna pretend this year didn't happen. And yeah, big surprise, benching the tackles for much lower overall players ended up really working out. Albertson only allowed 5 sacks and 700 snaps. Sherman only allowed 4 and 660 snaps. That worked for whatever reason. Overall doesn't matter. But Brody June actually led the team with 121 tackles, TFLs, 14 for Williams, 13 for Newhouse and Payne, and sacks. I know we don't have a good pass rush group, but Baron Browning got 1 sack after improving in overall from last year when he had 12.5 last year. I played him in the exact same positions as rush ends, and he went from 12.5 to 1 while gaining a dev trait and getting better in overall. This game drives me insane. What can I do about that? My fault, I guess. I don't know. But Pat Surtain, 4 picks, 3 for Sanders, 2 for Ryans. Whatever. I don't even know if I want to check yearly awards. No, we might have won. No, what happened is we probably got 2nd for Defensive Rookie of the Year again. I would bet a decent amount of money there. Jefferson at 3 for Offensive Player of the Year. Not just 2nd to a division rival. This game is testing my patience today. And of course, the Chiefs win the Super Bowl. There are just some seasons in Madden Simulation where you just can't win. It seems like it's always the years where you make massive upgrades is where it just goes to shit for some reason. So maybe the strategy is never upgrade your team. I don't know. But for re-signings, I guess we could re-sign Roma Dunze if we really want to, but I don't know if I do. Joel Bitonio Batonio I'd rather re-sign, but we can't really afford him. We'll offer him 2 years 46, but he's not going to take it. Okay, let's re-sign a Dunze. We'll go player friendly. We'll offer him 4 years 69. He does take it. And let's restructure every deal on the team. We need money. And I'm going to... Should I cut Ramczyk and Stanley, or should I just chalk this season up to being a Madden simulation moment? Oh, well, Ronnie Stanley retired anyways. Ryan Ramczyk wouldn't even save that much money to cut. We'll leave him. But let's restructure all these deals, or as many as we can. Okay, well, we were able to free up 40 mil. To be honest with you, I kind of thought it would be more, but I guess a lot of contracts are just expiring this year. This is a decent free agent class, though. It really kind of falls off quick from the top, but let's see what we can do. What can we do? Let's find out. All right, well, we're gonna make more additions. I think, you know, this is probably gonna make us play poorly again, but I need to remember that there's nothing I can do about simulation, and I'm just gonna focus on making the actual roster itself good. So we're gonna bring Joel Batonio back, John Franklin Myers. We don't really need more D linemen, but it's an upgrade, and we might as well upgrade on paper. And then Bradley Chubb, we'll bring him back to the Broncos, because it looks like he's been playing all right. Let me see, is there any other need that we could address here? Maybe linebacker, but I think we're good. Let's just see if we can sign these 3 players. Okay, we get Joel Batonio, John Franklin Myers, and Bradley Chubb still haven't signed. Bradley Chubb probably won't sign with us because it's not even a green offer, but we'll see. And yeah, John Franklin Myers signs, Bradley Chubb doesn't. That's fine. I guess we could get Jack Gibbons. He's already 29, but he is superstar dev at least. Let's see if we can sign him. No, and now we'll have to go to the next week. We're gonna have a really good overall team. It's just, I don't know how it's gonna perform. Should we change our defensive playbook? It was good though. It was overperforming, but then when we get an actually good overall team, it massively underperforms and plays like one of the worst in the league. I've complained enough. Jack Gibbons signs. Let's get to the draft. But here I'm gonna be trading Dwayne Belton to the Dolphins for a 4th round pick. I feel like I always trade to the Dolphins. I don't know why. They just usually, it's interesting. They lose a lot of players because they're broke by like year 3, but then by this point they have a little more money, but a bad roster, you know, because they were broke and couldn't re-sign any of their players. So they're usually a good trading destination. I don't know if destination's really the right word, but you know what I mean. And now in the draft, of course, the nice thing about underperforming, if there is one, is you get to pick at number 8. Why are the Panthers showing? The Cardinals are on the board. This game is so ass. Maybe the Panthers had the last... What? What is happening? It shows the Panthers are picking, which is apparently us, and it does show the Broncos as the background. Let me close out of this. Can we get a game that takes us seriously, please? NFL. There we go. I mean, that's just a minor glitch, but it's still just one of the billion that exists. But let's see what we want to do with this first pick. I think all the speed rusher... No, there's one speed rusher. Okay. Miles Collins is probably going to be the pick. Probably going to have normal dev, but hopefully he doesn't. He is fast and strong. It says only solid strength, but I mean 30 bench reps for a speed rusher. That's pretty damn good. Great speed, elite jumping, great change of direction, great agility, elite acceleration. I feel like I already read acceleration. I don't know. I probably said something wrong. Whatever. He has A awareness, A finesse moves, B play rec, B pursuit. I don't like the block shedding, but we know he is a first round talent. I'm just hoping for a dev trait. He should have one because he's athletic, but because he's athletic, he probably won't. That was a good call. Normal dev. I'm getting real sick of this shit today. Do we want to go with a corner? We don't need a corner. Rashawn Dobbs, he looks good. Chris Brown, I feel like I see so many players named Chris Brown in this game. I mean, it's a common name, but I'm in pain. Let's just go with a good player that's gonna have normal dev. Let's go with Telvin Clifford. We need a D lineman. One of them retired. I don't even remember who it was, but this will be good value, good-ish value. Hold on. Is there a good lineman? We need lineman depth for when one of our like 89 overalls allow 10 sacks by the midseason. We need a 72 overall guard to slide in so they do 10 times better, because that's how it should work. I have the like most pissed off, insane smile on my face right now. This game's turning me into the Joker. Okay, there aren't really any good guards from what I can see. I mean, maybe decent ones like Cordell Holmes looks okay. Let's just go with Clifford. He'll be like a 74 normal. Yeah. Should we take another D lineman? because I don't know what else to do. Sure, Jay McCullers, he's really fast, ran a 4.74 at 302 pounds. Sure, why would he be able to develop quickly? Why would he have any upside? One of the, like, pound for pound fastest players ever? Why would there be something to work with there? I say this a lot, but I need a nap after playing this game. Jesus. We at least got decent overall players. Wow, I called Telvin. I called both of these players almost perfectly back to back. I didn't guess overall for Collins, but I was thinking 76, and I called the normal dev. Probably gonna be, he might stay a 76 at outside linebacker, maybe down to a 75. I don't know. I don't care. I hope he does drop, because he'll probably play better. He does drop, so he'll probably play better than if he was a 76. So that's a good thing. And then Tevin Clifford, I called perfectly, 74 normal, and he is a 74 normal. And then Jay McCullers, again, why would a 302-pound player with 80 speed have any upside? Why would there be any potential and room to grow there? That would be insane. The CPU picked Terrell Hodges, he looks good. Corey Brown, he looks good. We'll move him to middle linebacker. I don't know how much playing time he's gonna get, though. I feel the same way I do when I'm doing like a 10-year rebuild, where I'm just going through every stage of grief. Let's get into the final year of the rebuild. If we don't do well this year. But here's a look at the team heading into the final year of the rebuild. We're looking good. We're an 88 overall. We should be good this year, but it's not a matter of should, it's a matter of if, I guess. Or it really just comes down to luck, so we'll see what happens. Again, we'll just hope last year was a down year. We still haven't had a season above 10-7, though, and we're an 88 overall team, which probably isn't the best in the league, but it's probably second or third. You know what? Let's check. Okay, the Falcons are an 88. They're tied with us. The Chiefs are also an 88. We're tied for the best roster in the league. Did I forget to change XP sliders? Normally by this point we have a few 90 pluses. No, it looks like they're all good, which by the way, these are the sliders I use. I don't know if they're good, but it's just the ones I use. I guess it doesn't really matter anyways, because it does it for all teams. It's not like it's an advantage or disadvantage, but it's just what I use. Looks like we had a rough preseason. We went 0-3 and had the second worst offense and like fourth or fifth worst defense. So that's great. That's a good sign for things to come. But here's the defense. I don't know if I showed it yet. I might have, but it's a good defense. We have an 88 overall across the board. And by the way, we got a few dev traits, like Leonard Williams went up to Superstar. Same with Drew Sanders. Kyle Hamilton went up to X Factor. And Rich has X Factor. I'm getting tired. My words are not coming out right. God, dude, why did this team, why did they decide to change uniforms? These were fine. Like, I don't know if I'm a hater. I'm definitely not, but there has not been a jersey or a new uniform announced this offseason that I have liked. I have disliked all of them. I mean, the Jets one was fine because it's pretty much just like their old ones, but I don't like the new Broncos ones. I didn't really like the new Texans ones. I feel like the horns on the shoulders look really weird, at least for the white ones. And the like old English font on the helmet looks so weird to me. And don't even get me started on the numbers on those jerseys, fucking like red outlined with bright blue. That hurts to look at. I do like the red Texans uniforms, but I don't know. This is a hot take, but I also don't love the Lions. I really liked the ones the Lions had before. Those were some of my favorites, which I know is crazy, but they were just cool. I don't know. Maybe I'm just a hater. The black Lions uniforms are pretty cool, but the regular ones I don't like. Oh, question of the day. I almost forgot. This is a good opportunity for question of the day. Very late in the video, but what do you think of the new uniforms? I'm sure most people disagree with me that they do like a lot of the new uniforms. So let me know, what do you think of all the new uniforms that have been released? Let me know that down in the comments. Like I said earlier in the video, I read like 90% of comments, so I'll probably see it. Anyways, big yap sesh over. Let's get into the final year of the rebuild. I'm really just stalling here because I know what's gonna happen. Let's see how we're doing at the end of the year. I'll check at the midseason just to make sure I don't need to bench anyone, which I probably will, but we'll see how we do in year number 5. Okay, actually, I maybe take back what I said about the Lions uniforms. I will say the black one just straight up looks like the Panthers, but seeing some other pictures of them, they look kind of cool. I just didn't like how it fit on Jared Goff, and I thought it looked ugly, but looking at it on other players, it looks pretty cool. The all whites are very white, though. I don't know if I love that. All right, well, here we are at the end of year number 5, and just one thing before I reveal how we did. Actually, we'll go over the stats to, you know, build more suspense, but just one thing. I am gonna start being a lot more active on my second channel. If you haven't noticed lately, I've been doing a lot less videos on here. It's just harder to come up with rebuild ideas that I think would actually do well right now because, you know, it's the off season. There isn't a lot happening right now, but I'm just gonna start doing whatever rebuild I feel like on the second channel. Whether I think it'll do well or not, I'm just gonna do what sounds fun. So link to that in the description. I don't want to spoil what it's gonna be, but expect a video out there on tomorrow. Expect a video out there tomorrow on the second channel. One that people have been asking for a lot. But here's a look at the team at the end of year number 5, and let's actually see, where does our overall rank in the league? We don't have the best morale. We have a few players with positive morale, but you know, if we did well, we would probably be a 90 overall from morale. So I doubt we have the best roster in the league. Not really anymore. There are a few other 88s. Again, if we actually did as well as we should have, we would be probably still the best team in the league, probably tied with the Chiefs or an 89. And let's check out the season stats. Zach Wilson was kind of the problem this year. Now, it looks like our average of what, like an 82 overall offensive line allowed almost 40 sacks. That's great. But 4,500 yards, only 25 touchdowns and 19 picks. He's slowly been getting worse. Javonte Williams was okay. Jefferson and Dulcich had 1,000 yards, but get the fuck out of here. 11 sacks. You know what? No, I'm not going to cut him because he's a good player and he shouldn't be playing like that. I'm going to leave him on the team because it makes the team look better. But overall doesn't matter literally at all, so that's great. But Jack Gibbons, 123 tackles led the team, 114 for Sanders. TFLs, we had a lot. Sacks, Baron Browning, 10.5 when it doesn't matter. Only 3.5 for Collins as a rookie. Who was playing over him? He only had 29 tackles. I guess Newhouse and him were splitting snaps, even though Collins was higher on the depth chart in every position. That's interesting. But interceptions, 4 for Hamilton, 2 for Sanders and McMillan, and then 1 for a few players. We actually had a top 4 offense in terms of yards. Defense, we were 11th. We were like an average of what, the 7th best team in terms of yards? Nobody really up here for MVP at all. Big shocker there. Javonte Williams at 9 for Offensive Player of the Year. Browning at 7 for Defensive. And Miles Collins at 9 for Defensive Rookie of the Year. And if you couldn't already tell, in year number 5, we did not make the playoffs, finishing 8 and 9, despite having what was tied for the best team in the league at the start of the year. That's fun. I don't even know what the problem was. I mean, Zach Wilson did bad, but he's been doing well. We just made the team around him better and he did worse. And Joel Bitonio was horrible. But either way, I did what I could and we built a really, really good team. One of the best in the league and was the best in the league at the start of the year, at least tied for it. But if you want to see a more successful rebuild than this, I would suggest my Commanders rebuild. That one was a lot of fun. It's a long one. It's a 10-year rebuild, but that was a really fun one with Jaden Daniels, of course. So go and watch that if you want to, but if not, also expect, like I said, a fun rebuild on the second channel. Probably tomorrow. Link in the description. But thank you all so much for watching. Again, 3,000 likes, and I'll do another Broncos rebuild, hopefully a more successful one. But thank you all so much for watching, and with that, I will see y'all again in the next video. Goodbye.